Yeah, hello. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so today we will be taking up the remaining part of this session. Then that's India Europe, and then we'll be taking up the great powers. Fine. Uh, okay. Now, PPTs have not uploaded. It should get uploaded. Raz, I think it has got uploaded, or else I'll ask the consulting to upload it. Okay, which of class the PPT has not been uploaded? Country, the voice is low. No, Seema. One more class. This is not the last class. Okay. Am I audible? Is it audible? Audible, right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yes, okay, fine. So now let us take up the challenges that we have between India and Europe. So what exactly are the challenges between India and Europe? Uh, so audible but low voice. Uh, audible, right? Okay, Raz. After eighth PPT, I'll send. Or if you mail me and I'll send it to your email ID itself. If that is not uploaded in the portal. It's full of echo. Just 1 second. Yeah, is it audible? Guys, Manpreet, audible? Audible. Now it's fine, right? Okay. So, chala then. Okay, fine. So, we'll be taking up the challenges that India faces while dealing with EU. So, the first, okay, Harish, okay, fine, yeah. So, the first challenge is that India and EU came together on mainly for your economic cooperation. So what did we do? We tried to sign one the trade agreement, the free trade agreement between India and the EU, that is known as your bilateral yeah, BTIA. So this BTIA was signed. Matlab signed in the sense it is the negotiation was started, but however, even today it was signed in 2005, but even today we haven't finalized that BDI agreement. So this is the main issue between India and Europe. See, from India's perspective, Europe is important mainly from economic perspective, not from security aspects. Now the security aspect is secondary, but however, mainly it is from your economic aspects that we are not able to finalize it. So first one, right on. First challenge between India and EU. The first one is trade negotiation. Delay in trade negotiation. The first one, please write down. Delay in the trade negotiation. It has almost stalled. It's only from after COVID, after 2022, we have started engaging with Europe, but however, matlab, European Union, but however, it's still not in progress because the reason was that there was a Brexit. That is, British got exited from European Union, so the European Union was more focusing on Brexit. But however, after 2019 we had COVID. 2021 22 we had COVID, and post 2022 we have started engaging with European Union, but even today we haven't finalized it as such. Fine. Okay, so please write down delayed trade negotiation. Okay, due to the differences on issues like due to the differences on issues like market access, market access, tariff, market access, tariff, and IPR. So, what is this market access? So, the reason why there is a delay in FTA, that's bilateral trade investment, is that the European Union wants free access of the automobile market. So, if there's a free access of automobile market, in a sense, if they are sending cheap BMWs, cheap Audis, and cheap Volkswagen cars to India, then what will happen to Indian car manufacturers? What will happen to the Tatas? What will happen to the Marutis? What will happen to the Mahindras? They will suffer, right? That is, Indian industries will suffer. If say assume that if we get one Audi of say Audi car at say 20 lakhs, and the say Maruti car is of 15 lakh, which one will you purchase? Even Audi will be costlier. Which one will the consumer purchase? They'll move towards Audi. So if we get say BMW, if we get a BMW of say 25 lakh, and we get the Mahindra XUV of say 25 lakh, which one will the people purchase? So it's BMW. The European Union wants a cheap tariff, or say very low tariff on their automobiles, but India is not willing to do that. So that is the main reason. And the second reason is that they wanted the free access to their this thing spirits and wines, free access to spirits. And Europe is known for wines and spirits, right? Alcohol, wine and alcohol, spirit is alcohol. So but European Union wants a free access to all these things, but India is not ready to give, because it is through the consumption of alcohol is very high in India. So through if there's an imposition, if there is an imposition of tax on that, it is going to benefit the government. And secondly, if the alcohol is at a cheaper rate, the consumption will further go high. So because of these things, India is imposing tax on in terms of automobiles, and in terms of your spirits, or say alcohol and wine. So that European Union doesn't want that. So because of that, there's a trade issues with this. And secondly, IPR rights. So India is a developing country, and we do not have a strong IPR regime, that is intellectual property rights regime, in the sense. So there are Europe has a good cutting edge technology, say be it in terms of automobiles, or be it in terms of machineries, or say solar technology, renewable energy technologies, etc. The European Union has good technology. So what happens in India is that we don't respect that technology, and we make a duplicate copy of it and we sell it. So European Union doesn't like that. So the reason being that we don't have a strict IPR regime. If we have a strict IPR regime, we cannot produce all those goods at a cheaper cost. So that's not possible. So because of that, we don't have a strong IPR regime. See, we are a developing country. Our disposable income is say somewhere around $2,500, whereas European Union's disposable income is somewhere around 30-40 thousand dollars. That's a per capita income. This you cannot compare a small entity with respect to another entity which is 10 times bigger than in India, say in terms of per capita. So Europe is expecting. Voice is breaking, Kartika. Am I audible, guys? I think it should be fine, Kartika. Is it clear? Am I audible? Audible. Kartika, it's audible for others. I think there's some issue from your side, I guess. Okay. Okay, thank you, guys. Okay, so this is the trade issues, and the next one is visa issues. Visa issue is that Indians wants to go to Europe for a better opportunity, say be it in terms of study, be it in terms of education, or say be it in terms of employment. Indians find a better opportunity in Europe. But however, Europe has a strict visa policy. If you consider the recent changes in visa policy in UK, so where UK was taunted as one of the closest ally of India. So now UK has modified its policy where Indian health workers cannot get easy visa So this is the issues. Earlier, Indian health workers could easily get visa into UK, but now it's quite difficult because the visa policy has got changed. So next challenge you write on. So visa issues, visa restrictions on Indians, visa restrictions on Indians traveling to UK, traveling to EU, traveling to EU, traveling to EU, traveling to EU. Fine. Okay, so this is the visa issues, and the next issue is that we have political and strategic differences. See, European Union is known for its upholding the human rights. If there is any human rights violation across the world, it is the European Union who raises voice against it. Say, be it in Sri Lanka. So in Sri Lanka, who filed a case against Sri Lanka? It was European Union. So in Africa, if there's any violation, civil rights violation, human rights violation, it is Union who files a case against that country in UN. So the same thing is happening with the relation between India and European Union. That is, there's a perception. Again, here it's a perception. Don't it's not proven as such. There's a perception that in India, the government of India has violated human rights in Kashmir, and there's a perception that again here it's a perception. We cannot tell because the external affairs minister has completely denied it. So Indian external affairs minister has completely denied it. So there's a perception that the government of India is violating the human rights in Kashmir, and there's another perception that the government of India is violating the basic civil rights by through internet shutdowns. So because of that, so if you see the latest report, 40 percentage of the global internet shutdown, 40 percentage of global internet shutdown is in India. So if there is 100 internet shutdowns, 40 internet shutdown is in India. So again it's a perception, because in the answers we cannot tell it's true as such, because the government of India has completely denied it. So because of this perception, so it is the European Union who always raises concerns regarding this. India negates all this issues that is raised by European Union. Fine. So right on here, political and strategic differences. Here, first one, right on. Human rights concerns. Human rights concerns shown by human rights concerns shown by EU regarding the minorities in India, regarding the minorities in India and in Kashmir region, regarding the minorities in India and Kashmir region, regarding the minorities in India and the Kashmir region. Full stop. EU also EU, that is European Union, EU also raises concerns. EU also raises concerns over EU also raises concerns over the internet shutdowns in India, internet shutdown in India. Okay, so Yashwant, I'll again repeat it. So EU raises concerns over India's that is again here there's a perception. I'm being very careful here. There's a perception that Indian minorities are not getting treated equally, and secondly, the region in that is the people of Kashmir, they are not getting adequate human rights. And the second concern that EU shows is that India has a lot of internet shutdown, and internet is considered as basic human rights or a basic civil rights. So when there's an internet shutdown, it is the European Union who raises issue on this one. Fine. So this I'll repeat the second point. The internet shutdown in India The internet shutdown. I'll again rephrase it. See, whatever I'm telling, I'm just structuring the point and telling it to you. Whatever I told earlier may not be exactly the same, but however, the essence would remain the same. The internet shutdown in India issues are raised frequently by European Union. Are raised frequently by European Union. European Union keeps raising all these issues. That is the minority issues and the Kashmir issues and the internet shutdown issues in India. So yeah, that's I think. So and India doesn't like that. Why India doesn't like that? Indian government says that we don't indulge in any discrimination against the minorities. We uphold all the human rights in Kashmir. And regarding the internet shutdown, it says that it is necessary for maintaining peace and stability in the region. So this is India's stance. Fine. Okay. So next one is India is a close ally of USSR, or say Russia. That doesn't that irks European Union. European Union doesn't like this. That is India being a close ally to USSR. So that is the another issue. That is India's closeness with USSR, or say India's closeness with Russia. India's closeness with Russia. India's closeness with Russia. India's closeness with Russia. Fine. Okay, so next challenge, the visa restriction we have taken, right? Next one is another main challenge that we have is that after Brexit, we have to recalibrate the relation with Europe and UK separately. Earlier, if you see, before UK coming out of European Union, before British coming out of European Union, we could deal with only one entity, that is European Union. Now what has happened is that now we have to deal with European Union and UK separately. See, again here, UK was United Kingdom was our major trading partner within Europe. It is not that we deal with all the 27 countries of European Union equally. So our main trading partner in Europe is UK, Germany, and France. So these are the main trading partner. Remaining all the countries, say be it Poland, etc. The small countries, there's no major trade relation between these small countries. But we require a good trade relation between countries like UK, France, Germany. So these are the important countries in Europe. But now that UK has come out, we have to engage separately. UK, there's a separate engagement that is required, and with European Union there's a separate engagement that is required. So write down here, a recalibration of India Europe relation, recalibration of India Europe relation post Brexit. Post Brexit. So now, in terms of everything, we have to have a separate agreements. Say in terms of automobile, one agreement with UK, one agreement with European Union. Say in terms of textile, one agreement with UK, one agreement with European Union. So agricultural products, etc. So now the bilateral relation between UK and EU has to UK and India has to be maintained, and India EU relation should also be maintained separately. So these are the broad challenges between India and European Union. So how do we manage it? Okay, so Dikshit, the issue is that I'll again reiterate. So what happened earlier, before British coming out of European Union, we had to engage with only one entity, that is European Union. And in within European Union, earlier when British was there, there are 28 countries, right? So it is not that all the 28 countries are important for India. So for us, UK was very important, France was very important, Germany was very important, and the next and the remaining things were like, be it your Italy, Spain, Greece. These are like very small trade takes place between these countries. Not much important. Be it your Poland and all these are very tiny countries. No major trade and investment goes on in these countries. But however, the important entities were your France, your Germany, and your UK. Now that UK has come out of European Union, so now European Union has 27 countries. Yeah. Yeah, European Union has 27 countries. Now we have to deal with two entities. One is with UK separately and with European Union separately. This has created an issue. That is, now we have to recalibrate the relation with Europe as such, because European Union is separate thing and UK is separate thing. Fine. So that is a recalibration of relations post Brexit. Recalibration of relation post Brexit. Recalibration of relation post Brexit. Okay, fine. So, chalo then. So, these are the broad challenges between India and European Union. So, how do we overcome? How do we overcome this challenges, or say what is the way forward? So, right down here, way forward is negotiating a fair trade deal. So, this BTIA, bilateral trade investment agreement, is pending for more than 2 decades, more than 20 years. So, we have to negotiate a fair deal. So, that's what is more important. So, negotiating a fair deal. So, next one, right on. Increasing dialogues on sensitive issues. Increasing dialogues on sensitive issues like human rights, like human rights, like human rights, yeah, like human rights issues. Like, see, the main reason why there is an issue between India and USA, India and Europe is such, be it European Union Parliament or be it UK. So they always raise issues regarding some aspects in India, say, be it some minority issues, or say be it some election issues. They keep raising. That is, they keep fiddling into India's internal matters. So the best way to bridge the relation between India and European Union, or say Europe, is that we should openly discuss on those topics. That is, we should clear all the doubts there, because there's a perception that there is a violation of minority rights in India. There's a perception that there's a violation of human rights in Kashmir. So there's a perception that there's a frequent internet shutdown takes place. So again here, this is the issue. So in order to overcome this, we need to increase the dialogue on sensitive issues, in terms of, say, in terms of this thing, that is human rights, in terms of human rights violation. Fine. Okay, so next one, right on. Promote cultural exchanges. Yeah, promote cultural exchanges. So that, promote cultural exchanges to increase people to people contact. To increase people to people contact. To increase people to people contact. Fine. Okay. And the next one is increase the frequency of summits and bilateral summits. Increase the frequency of bilateral summits and dialogue. Increase the frequency of bilateral summits and dialogues. Fine. So these are the broad way forwards where we can bridge the relation between India and Europe. Fine. Okay. So now we'll take up the great powers. So India, US, and India, Russia. So these are the great powers. So China, see, now the big powers are US, China, Russia. So these are the big powers. So China, we have already finished when we are doing with India neighborhood relation. Now the remaining big powers are US and Russia. So let us take this relation, India and USA. So write down here, India and USA relation. Yeah, India USA relationship. Fine. Okay, so now let us start with USA. So why USA is important for India? So okay, so why USA is important for India? So if you consider USA is the biggest power in the world as of now in terms of economics, in terms of money, in terms that is in terms of economics, in terms of your military also. US is the biggest power, and in terms of controlling the global governance. US is the big US is one of the biggest power. So in terms of global governance, in terms of money, that is your geoeconomics, in terms of your geostrategic or say geosecurity, be it in terms of military, US is the biggest power. So that's the reason that that's the saying, right? If US sneezes, the world catches cold, because US has influence over every country, almost every country. So yeah, for that matter, even in India, US has a great influence on India's policy. US has a great influence in almost every country's policy. So US plays a very crucial role in the global governance, in maintaining the peace and stability in the world. Not just in one region, or say not just in one part of the world. In the entire world, US plays a very crucial role in maintaining peace and stability. Say India plays a crucial role in maintaining stability in Indian Ocean region, but whereas your US, it plays a crucial role in maintaining stability across the world. So you, because US is a militarily power, US is a economics power, and US has a good geopolitical influence across the world. So yeah, so these are the broad features of your United States. So now let us write down. So geoeconomic significance of USA. So geoeconomic significance of USA. So write down here geoeconomic significance of USA. So USA point was, so why USA is important, that the geoeconomic significance of USA. What's the reason? So write down first one write down largest economy in the world. So currently US economy is somewhere around 28 trillion dollars. Yeah, it is 28 trillion dollars. 28 trillion dollars. So US economy currently it is largest economy, 28 trillion dollars. 28 trillion, largest economy, 28 trillion dollars. Yeah. Second point, write down. This is the first point is 28 trillion dollars, largest economy. Second point is a global financial hub. Global financial hub. Global financial hub. Global financial hub. So, be it most of the investments so comes from USA. So if you see here, most of the investment comes from USA. Most of the important trade comes via USA. And if there is anything happens to your New York Stock Exchange, say this 2008 crisis. So there was a global crisis, right? 2008. So why we had a global crisis? Because there was a meltdown in USA. That is Lehman Brothers meltdown in USA. That is a big bank collapse in USA. If just think that one bank collapse in USA, the entire world economy suffers. So because it is a financial hub, that is all the investments, all the trades takes place through this financial hub. That is a global financial hub. One bank collapse in USA, the entire world suffers. So the banks in USA are too big to fail. Too big to fail in the sense they are so big that they influence the entire world. So not just in India, say it is SBI. In India, if SBI collapses, the Indian economy would collapse. So, but however, in USA, the USA banks are so big that if any one bank collapses, the entire world's economy gets affected. So, because it's a global financial hub. Next one is right on US dollar is the is world's primary US dollars USD US dollars is the world's primary reserve currency, is the world's primary reserve currency, is the world's primary. What happened to the pen? Mm, yeah, it's the world's primary reserve currency. So again here, no, all the world trade, most of the world trade takes place through US dollars. In India, the foreign reserves is also always accounted from mainly from US dollars perspective. So it is always considered as the primary reserve currency. So US has a great influence across the world. US cannot tell, and US cannot, that is, the US president cannot come and tell that say from today will demonetize the so and so dollars. That cannot work. If US tells that, the entire world will collapse, the entire world's economy will collapse, because the world, all the country considers US dollars as their primary reserve currency. So US dollars is valid in all the international trades. So that's the reason. And Zaba, please give an overview, brief. Yeah, that's what. That's what. We'll take it from every angle. That is, we are seeing from geoeconomics perspective. Then we'll see the geopolitical perspective. Why US has a lot of significance in terms of geoeconomics. One is, in itself, it's the biggest economy, $28 trillion. Secondly, all the world important trade investment takes place from US, and the US banks controls all the important investments, or say trading across the world. So that's the reason. If there's a one bank collapses in US, the entire world suffers. Say Lehman Brothers bank collapse in US, the entire world suffered in 2008. And the next geoeconomic significance is that all the almost all the trade, all the international trade takes place through US dollars, and the forex reserves of most of the countries, or say not most, majority of the countries are in terms of your US dollars. So in India, we tell that we have $500 billion of US reserve. That dollars is US dollars, no, not Canadian dollars or say some other dollars. So it is US dollars. So all the forex reserves are kept in terms of say US dollars. All the international trade takes place via US dollars. So they have a great influence. So US cannot come and tell that today we'll demonetize say hundred dollar bill, or say $500 bill. That cannot occur. If US changes any policy in their currency, it is going to have a ramification at the global level. Fine. And the next geoeconomic significance is that US is the biggest consumer market, or the largest consumer market. So US has the largest consumer market. So the population, however, the population of US is very small. Say it's say 35 million, 35 million people only. So what is the population of India? So say probably 3 to 4 times of that of the US. But however, still it is the largest consumer, largest market. So that is the largest consumer market. It's the population is what, somewhere around I think 350, yeah, 300 to 350 million. So it's somewhere around 300 to 350 million. So yeah, again here, with just one fourth of India's population, or say probably one third, yeah, between one third to one fourth of India's population, despite having less population, it is a big consumer market, because the consumption is more in USA. So fine, write down one of the largest consumer market in the world. One of the largest consumer market in the world. One of the largest consumer market in the world. Okay. Next one is houses. HOUSCS, houses, large number of MNCs, multinational corporations, MNCs. Okay, MNCs, large number of MNCs, houses large number of MNCs. Google, Facebook, Amazon. You name the biggest MNC, so that is from US. So US controls the MNC, the corporate world. So all the major MNCs are from USA itself. So that's one geoeconomic significance. So right down here, houses large number of MNCs, houses large number of MNCs. Yeah, fine. So these are the reasons why the USA is has a lot of significance from geoeconomics perspective. Now let us see the geopolitical significance of USA. So what are the geopolitical significance of USA? Please note it down. So write down here geopolitical significance of USA and geopolitical significance of USA. First one is USA is seen as a leader for global governance, be it IMF, World Bank, United Nations, UNESCO, you name any global organization. If USA is the member over there, USA will be the leader in that. So USA is considered as a leadership, provides leadership in global governance. So write down here, provides leadership, provides leadership in global governance, provides leadership in global governance, provides leadership in global governance. Example, World Bank, example, World Bank, IMF, example, World Bank, IMF, etc. Example, World Bank, IMF, etc. Okay, next one is it has a network of alliances. So write down here. Next point is it has a network of alliances. So it has network of alliances. Network of alliances. Network. What is this network of alliances? So USA has a close network of alliance in North America. USA, North America, that we call it as a NAFTA. So North America Free Trade Agreement, that is your Canada, US, and Mexico. They have their own alliance. So USA has alliance with Europe. USA has alliance with the Southeast Asian countries. USA has alliance with the South Asian regions, say USA, India, USA, Pakistan. USA has alliance with Africa. USA is close ally with Australia. USA has alliance with say Argentina. So in South America also USA has allies. So if you consider, so it is one of the country where it has alliance with almost all the countries. That is, USA has alliance with almost all the countries. So it has a due to this network of alliance, because it has so much of connections across the world, it becomes a geopolitically important player. So write down here network of alliance. So colon network of alliance colon USA has USA has political USA has political 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 economical political economical and military alliance. Yeah, military alliances with most other countries, with most of the countries in the world, with most of the countries in the world, with most of the countries in the world, with most of the countries in the world. It is not just Europe as such. USA has political alliance, military alliance, and as well as your economic alliance with most of the countries. So, in because of this, it makes as a political, geopolitically very important countries. And the next one is USA shapes the global agendas. Next point is next geopolitical significance is USA shapes the global agenda. USA shapes what happened to the pen, shapes global. Yeah, USA shapes the global agenda. So, global agenda in the sense, if there's a, say, for example, the 2015 Paris Agreement. Why we had 2015 Paris Agreement? So, this Paris Agreement was supposed to be held long back. So, when Kyoto Protocol was discarded by all the countries, so we had to have an alternative agreement, but many countries did not accept. But when Obama insisted for a Paris agreement, so a climate change agreement, so we had this Paris agreement. So what happened after when Trump came into place, when during Trump's administration, what happened? So Trump withdrew from Paris agreement. During that time, did Paris agreement work? No, it did not even function. So it was Paris agreement was came into place because USA insisted it. When USA came out of this Paris agreement, it almost become defunct. So the same as with UNESCO. So yeah, with UNESCO, yeah, so with UNESCO again here, when US withdrew from UNESCO, UNESCO was virtually not functioning at all because USA was the biggest funding country. When USA withdrew from UNESCO was not properly functioning. So when again USA rejoined UNESCO, again UNESCO started functioning. So all the global agendas are usually set by USA, say be it in terms of climate change, or say be it in terms of managing Israel-Palestine issues, or say be it in terms of managing the oil price, etc. USA has a very crucial role in terms of setting the global agenda. So right down here, shaping of global agendas, as USA as USA is politically, economically as USA is politically, economically, as USA is politically, economically, and militarily powerful, and militarily powerful, it shapes the global agenda. 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 Fine. It shapes the global agenda. So, example, climate change. Example regarding climate change. Example regarding climate change. Example regarding climate change. Regarding climate change. And the next one is global mediation. Global mediation. Global. Yeah, global mediation. So if there's any issues that is going on between two countries, or say between two regions, it is US who would intervene and resolve the matter. Say for example, the classic issue is Israel Palestine. If there's any issue between Israel and Palestine, it is US which intervenes. Again here, if there's any issue between say Saudi and Iran, US intervenes. If there's any issue between India and China, so even though we openly tell that we don't require any third party intervention, but always US supports India, and there's an element of US intervention also. So how US could intervene in the different countries internal matters, or say during bilateral disputes. So it is because US is a superpower, because US is a military power, they are intervening into any diplomatic issues, or say any bilateral issues that take place in the world, so and resolves that matter. So right on here, global mediation between global mediation between tries to resolve the disputes between resolve the disputes between nations, tries to resolve the dispute between the nations. Okay, example, Israel Palestine issues. Example, Israel Palestine issue. Israel Palestine issue. Example is Israel Palestine issue. Fine. Okay. So these are the geopolitical significance of US. Now let us see the geosecurity significance of US. So right down here, geosecurity significance of US. So what is the geosecurity significance of US? The first geosecurity significance is, yeah, the first geosecurity significance. So first write down. So what's happening with the pen? Yeah, it's okay. So please write down here. First geosecurity significance. US has the strongest military in the world. So write down here. It is a military superpower. So first geosecurity significance is military superpower. Military superpower. Okay, so if you see the spendings, that is US spending, so US spending on military, so US spends say almost 870, or say around $900 billion on military every year. And what is the amount that is spent by other countries? If you combine the top, say 10 countries, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, the top 10 countries, if you combine, so that is not even equivalent to the spendings that is done by US. So US alone spends enough money to defense that is less than the bottom, that is the next 10 countries combined. So if you combine the military spending of these 10 countries, that is not even equal to US spending on military. So that is the reason why US is a military superpower. Say, be it in terms of Navy, be it in terms of Air Force, or be it in terms of Army, US is a superpower, military superpower. So that is a geosecurity significance. And the next geosecurity significance is USA is a nuclear triad. So what is this nuclear triad? What is nuclear triad? So write down here, USA is a nuclear triad. USA is a nuclear triad. What is this nuclear triad? So nuclear triad means it is the capacity. So nuclear, please see here, nuclear triad means it is the capacity of a country to deploy nuclear weapons from land, from air, and from water. So when any country gets this capacity of deploying the nuclear weapon from land, from air, and from water, that's from your seas, then that country is called as a nuclear triad. India is also a nuclear triad. If India became a nuclear triad, it's only in the recent times. But however, the what is the advantages of becoming a nuclear triad? If the advantage is that if USA has a nuclear triad, they can deploy nuclear weapon through in on any country, because every country is either connected via air, not via air, land, or water. Say if USA is in that corner, or if they want to deploy a nuclear weapon in say South Asia or say Southeast Asia, they can come via ocean, that is come to Indian Ocean. From Indian Ocean they can deploy a nuclear weapon. So whichever country has nuclear triad, those countries are considered as a powerful country. So say it has a lot of geostrategic significance. India also has this nuclear triad facility, but that was in only in the recent times. But nuclear triad facility was achieved by USA long back. So USA, why it's a geostrategic significance, geosecurity significance is that it is a nuclear triad country. So write down here. So nuclear triad. USA has the capacity to deploy. USA has the capacity. USA has the capacity to deploy nuclear weapons. USA has the capacity to deploy nuclear weapons from air, land, and sea. Deploy nuclear weapons from air, land, and sea. Fine. So this is the nuclear triad. And the next geostrategic significance is that now we are moving in a digital world. So in terms of cyber security and cyber warfare, US has mastered the protection of cyber security, and they have mastered the offensive cyber security attack, not just defensive. Defensive in the sense, if someone is attacking us, we will protect our cyber security network, cyber networks. But US has mastered in terms of offensive cyber attack as well. So write down here. So next point, write down. Next geosecurity significance is that cyber security, cyber security and cyber warfare. Cyber security, cyber security, and cyber warfare. Cyber security and cyber warfare. Just one second. I think there's some setting issues with the pen. I think just one second. Yeah. So I think it's okay. I'll get this one rectified. Okay, so USA is considered as a superpower in terms of cyber security and cyber warfare. So right on here, USA has a potential for offensive. USA has a potential for offensive cyber warfare. USA has a potential for offensive cyber warfare. USA has a potential for offensive cyber warfare. Has a potential for offensive cyber warfare. USA has a potential for offensive cyber warfare. Okay, if US has a potential for offensive cyber warfare, then the countries would have this deterrence. That is, USA would create this deterrence where they will not, no other country would try to attack US cyber systems, because USA would indulge in offensive warfare, cyber warfare, and it would affect other country. And the next one is space dominance. So space dominance. So write down here space dominance. Space dominance. USA provides security. USA provides security to the space installations. To the space installations through its missile defense system. Through its missile. Through its missile. Through its missile defense system, through its missile defense system. So US, that's what, so be it in terms of space also, even US provides security to the space installations, like say satellites and say your international space station, etc. So it is the US which is going to provide security to all the other countries, because US has adequate weapons, adequate missile defense system. If there's any attack on the US or say satellites, US can predict or so preempt that attack and neutralize those attacks on the satellite. So because they have a very good missile defense systems, so because of this, all these things, US becomes a good has a lot of significance from geosecurity perspective. And the next important geosecurity perspective is that US has its military base spread across the world. If you see all these red marks over here, the red dots in this image, so this is the US military base. So US military base is spread across the world. So it means that US literally has control over every part of the world. So write down here next geosecurity significance is, so write down next, please write down next geosecurity significance, that is extensive military base. Extensive military base across the world. Extensive military base across the world. Extensive military base across the world. And provides security in those regions. And provides security in those regions. This is Pacific Ocean, they have a lot of military base. This is Atlantic Ocean, lot of military base. This is Indian Ocean, lot of military base. Look at the number of military bases they have. Almost in every region there is a military base. Africa, Europe, South Asia, Southeast Asia, even Iceland they have. So almost every region they have a military base. So because of that, it makes them as a most important country from geosecurity perspective. So these are the significance, that is your geosecurity significance of USA. So broadly, these are the broad features of the characteristics of USA. Now let us see the India-USA relationship in terms of evolution. That is, how did India-USA relationship evolve? So write down here evolution of India-USA relationship. Evolution of India USA relationship. Evolution of India USA relationship. Okay, so the first one is again here. So first I'll tell you the give you a summary, and then we'll write it down. So in the initial phase, when India got independence, so what was India stance? India stance was NAM, that is non-alignment movement. NAM is non-alignment movement. That is, we will not align ourselves with US, neither with USSR. So during Cold War era, so beginning phase of Cold War era, initially we were focusing on the non-alignment movement. That is the initial phase. But however, what happened? So during Indira Gandhi's phase, it was a compulsion. We had to align ourselves with respect to with USSR. It was a compulsion. So as a reason, what happened? So we did not have a great relation with USA. So even in 1971 war, even in the Bangladesh war, USA was supporting Pakistan. So USSR, Russia was supporting India. So even during that is during Indira Gandhi period, USA was pro Pakistan, USSR was pro India. And another thing that irked India USA relation is that India signed a friendship treaty with USSR in 1971. Because of this friendship treaty, US did not like India much. So during Indira Gandhi's period, we did not have a great relation with USA. So during Nehru period, it was neutral. The relationship was neutral. During Indira Gandhi period, the relationship was not great. In fact, the relationship came down during Indira Gandhi's period. But however, so during Rajiv Gandhi period, what happened? Rajiv Gandhi started to rebuild the relation between, or say, rebridge the relation between, say, India and USA. So, because India wanted a lot of investment and technological support from USA, so Rajiv Gandhi relaxed all the economic, all the economic economic rules and laws. And USA was a capitalist country, so they wanted to, and India was a developing country, right? India was a developing country, so USA wanted to invest in India so that they get benefit out of it. And top of it, India also wanted technology. So India started engaging with USA during Rajiv Gandhi period. That is, we initiated the engagements during Rajiv Gandhi period. So then what happened during that is after 1991. After 1991, USSR collapsed. So after the collapse of USSR, so we knew that USA, if we closely ally ourselves with USA will intervene in our internal matters. That was very much evident. We could see across the world, if whichever country goes very close with USA, US starts intervening in their internal matters. So what we did, so we did not have a great relation after 1991. After 1991, we maintained the same diplomatic engagements. That is, after 1991, whatever Rajiv Gandhi started, we maintained the same economic engagements, and we relaxed only in terms of economic aspects, no strategic partnership as such. So we did not have a strategic partnership with USA after 1991. After 1991, we indulged in liberalization and globalization, LPG reforms, liberalization, privatization, globalization, LPG reforms. So due to liberalization, we could bring US companies into India. So after 1991, so in the initial period during Manmohan Singh's regime, that is during Congress regime, so we had a relation only in terms of economic aspects. But then what happened? We India started. We had this Gujarat. So then we had Gujarat period. So in Gujarat period, more emphasis was on given on neighborhood. So you remember this Gujarat doctrine. So Gujarat doctrine emphasizes on neighborhood. So during Gujarat period, more emphasis was given on neighborhood. And again, what happened during Vajpayee's regime in 1998? Vajpayee regime, what happened? There was a nuclear test. So USA wants to maintain the hegemony. So how USA can maintain? See how any country can maintain the hegemony. So by maintaining the nuclear, by becoming a nuclear power. But USA doesn't want other country to become to maintain the hegemony, or say to become a hegemony. USA doesn't want other country to also become militarily powerful. So what happened? But however, in 1998, we took up a nuclear test. So in order to prove that even we have nuclear capabilities. So once we took up a nuclear test, in order to prove ourselves as a nuclear power, so USA imposed sanction on us. From 1998, USA imposed economic sanction on us. Yeah, from 1998, so USA imposed economic sanction on us. 1991 till almost till Gujarat times, we had good economic relation. So after 1998, USA imposed economic sanction on us because India indulged in this Pokhran test. 1998 Pokhran test. USA did not want India to be a nuclear power, but India took up this Pokhran test, and we initiated we initiated nuclear test. As a retaliation, USA imposed economic sanction. So from 1998 onwards, we did not have good relation with USA. So then what happened in 2000? President of US visited India. That is Clinton. Clinton visited India. So this is Clinton. He visited India, and then he started again from 2000 onwards. The relationship between India and the USA started growing. So it was from 1998 till 2000, no good relation between India and US. But however, after Clinton's visit to India, so our relationship re-emerged again. Fine. Okay. So right on this relation, India US relationship. India US relationship. Okay. So right on here. Sakshi, US has been imposing sanction on us. During Indira Gandhi time also, US imposed sanction on us. During Vajpayee's regime also, US has imposed sanction on us. Now, US is threatening to impose. So recently we had an deal with Iran, Chabar deal with Iran. Now, recently, that is within last week also, US has threatened us for imposing economic sanction on us. So that's a frequent thing what US does. Okay, so right on here, early years, post that is post independence Nehru period, post independence Nehru period. So right on here, post independence Nehru period. Is US trustworthy? See here, US, there's a saying in international relation. So we have to bow down in front of the superpowers. So US is a superpower, man. So whether it's trustworthy or not, we need US support. So we need US support for everything. So be it in terms of investments in India, be it in terms of defense technologies, be it in terms of Indian diasporas. So for everything we require Indian USA support. So we cannot risk USA relation just for Iran. So Iran provides us oil, USA provides us investment, USA provides us defense equipment, USA safeguards our diaspora in USA. So USA is important for USA is a P5 member, United Nations P5 member. So USA is important for India. So we cannot afford to irk USA. So that is the thing. So that's a reality. So sometimes that's the reason why countries succumb to the pressure of USA. So yeah. So right down here, early years during Nehru, early years, so say Nehru period. So India maintained neutrality. India maintained neutrality as India maintained neutrality as India was a member of NAM. 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 Right on here. Both India and USA, both India and USA, NAM is non-alignment movement. Yeah, both next one right on. Both India and USA established. Both India and USA established diplomatic relations, diplomatic relations in 1947. In 1947. In 1947. In 1947. Okay, so in this period, in Nehru's period, we did not have a great engagement with USA. So next one, right on. So 1960s to 1960s to 1970s, 1960s to 1970s, 1960s to 1970s. Next, that is phase two is 1960s to 1970s, 70s, 60s to 70s. So here write down USA tilted towards Pakistan. USA tilted towards Pakistan. USA tilted towards Pakistan. USA tilted towards Pakistan. India tilted towards USSR. India tilted towards USSR. India tilted towards USSR. This strained the diplomatic relations. 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 Fine. Okay, next one, right on 1980s. 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 Right on here. During Rajiv Gandhi's period, during Rajiv Gandhi's period, during Rajiv Gandhi's period, India proactively, during Rajiv Gandhi's period, India proactively increased economic cooperations. India proactively increased economic cooperations, proactively increased economic cooperations, proactively increased economic cooperations with USA. With USA. So it was after Rajiv Gandhi's period. So we started proactively engaging with USA. So then what happened? So right on here, post Cold War, post Cold War, post Cold War, from 19, yeah, initial period of 1990s. In the initial period of 1990s, so right on here, post Cold War, in the initial period of 1990s, 1990s, India enhanced, in the initial period of 1990s, India enhanced its bilateral economic relation, enhanced bilateral economic relation with USA, with the enhanced bilateral economic relation with USA. However, however, post right on here, however, post 1998, however, post 1998, however, post 1998 Pokhran nuclear test, post 1998 Pokhran nuclear test, USA imposed economic sanctions on India. USA imposed economic sanctions on India. USA imposed economic sanctions on India. Manji. Manji. So I'll again repeat it. So initially, after in the initial phase of 1990s initial period, we enhanced the bilateral cooperation. But however, post 1998 Pokhran test, USA imposed economic sanctions on India. During Manmohan Singh's regime, during PV Narasimha Rao's regime, Rajiv Gandhi initiated the economic cooperation. This was continued by Narasimha Rao's regime. Narasimha Rao also started engaging with engaging with US. But what happened in 1998 when Vajpayee conducted this Pokhran test during Vajpayee's government when India conducted Pokhran test, so US imposed economic sanction. The reason why US imposed economic sanction is that US see every country wants to maintain supremacy. If India becomes a nuclear power, so the essence of being a nuclear power would come get diluted. So that's the reason US imposed economic sanction on that. But however, in 2000, right on here, post 2000s, that is post 2000, post 2000, post 2000, post 2000, Clinton's visit, post 2000, Clinton's visit, post 2000, Clinton's visit in 2000, Clinton's, that is President Clinton, Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's visit in 2000, in 2000, try Bill Clinton in visit in 2000 built the relation, built a strong relation again, built a strong relation again with India, built a strong relation again with India. So what happened in 1998? So India conducted a nuclear test. So US in a impulse they imposed economic sanction. So without a proper due diligence. And then what happened? It was India was an emerging market. The population in India was almost 100 crores then. So it was almost all nearing to 100 crores. The population was big. It was an emerging market. US could easily tap into this market. So it is not that US was doing any favor to us. US wanted to tap into this India's emerging market. India's disposable income was growing. The population was big. No other country had such big population. Say China is an authoritarian regime, forget about that. So apart from China, India was one of the democratic country where which had this opportunity where US could sell their goods and services. So that is the reason the corporates or the economic the big companies they lobbied with the US president and they sent US president to India. That is there's a lobby that was going on, and because of that US president came to India to rebridge the relation again. The reason being that it was not that US was doing any favor to India. US wanted to explore India's market, or say sell their goods and services into India's market. So that's the reason. So in 2000, India, that is Clinton visited India to rebridge the relation, economic relation of India. So that is the reason. And then what happened? Now coming to Bush. So the Bush administration again, Bush administration came in 2001. So Bush administration also saw that India is a big market, a potentially big market, has a lot of potential to export goods. And again, surrounding India, India doesn't have a friendly neighbors. So India has Pakistan and China as their neighbors, and which is not friendly. And the defense industries has emerged a lot during Bush period. So Bush wanted to sell US weapons into India. That is US. That is in order to export US defense industries goods into India. So US initiated a defense agreement with India. So again here, whatever US is doing is it is from US perspective. That is, it benefits US, and US is not doing some big support or a big favor to India as such. Fine. So write on this post. I think you have written right post Clinton's visit. We started good relation with USA. So next write on Bush administration. Bush administration. So 2001 to 2008. Bush administration, 2001 to 2008. So write down here. Enhanced, first one write down. Enhanced the economic cooperations. Enhanced the economic cooperation. Enhanced economic cooperations. Yeah, first point is enhanced economic cooperations further. Enhanced economic cooperations further. And the next one write down. Enhanced defense cooperations. Enhanced defense cooperation by signing enhanced defense cooperation by signing a defense framework agreement. By signing defense framework by signing defense framework agreement. By signing defense framework agreement. By signing defense framework agreement. That promoted, that increased defense trades, that increased defense trade, military exercise, that increased defense trade, joint military exercise, and joint research, and joint research. And okay, next one, increased. Next one right on. Yeah, next point right on. Increased counter-terrorism cooperation. Increased counter-terrorism cooperation. Increased counter-terrorism cooperation. So why USA was so much interested in India during Bush regime? So what happened? Now the please analyze here. So in 9/11, so Taliban attacked America. So then, as a retaliation, the US attacked Afghanistan. So 9/11, that is it. 9/11 happened. So Taliban attacked USA. So USA wanted to retaliate, and USA attacked Afghanistan. So USA wanted to maintain other friendly neighbors so that they could provide military base to them. They could provide intelligence against Taliban. So that is the reason why one of the reason why USA engaged with India in terms of defense is that defense and joint military exercise, counter-terrorism measures is that because USA had interest in Afghanistan. In order to control Taliban, USA had interest. So that's the reason we had joint military exercise and defense, that is sharing of defense equipments, etc. So these agreements took place during Bush regime. Fine. So next, in order to further strengthen India-US relationship during Bush time, so we had India-US nuclear deal. So please write on this, India-US nuclear deal. India-US nuclear deal. Okay, so in order to understand India-US nuclear deal, there's some. This is one. Just understand something like this. There's something called as NSG, Nuclear Supplier Group. So this NSG is one international organization, international grouping, which is known as Nuclear Supplier Group. So this NSG Nuclear Supplier Group monitors the international movement of all the nuclear raw materials. See, all the uranium, plutonium, thorium, every nuclear raw material is monitored by this nuclear supplier group. Fine. So, this nuclear supplier group monitors every nuclear raw material across the world. But what happened, in order to get nuclear raw material, that is, in order to get uranium, India had to be a part of this. Yeah, Kartika, just hold for another 5 minutes here, and then give a break. So, in order to get uranium, India had to be a member of this energy, but India was not a member of energy. So we were not getting adequate or say proper supply of nuclear raw materials like uranium. So because of that, we wanted some alternative mechanisms. So the alternative mechanism was India-US nuclear deal. So see here, as per the international law, as per the international order, uranium should be given to a country. That is, uranium, that is, international trade can occur between any country regarding uranium if that country is a member of NSG. India is not a member of NSG. So we were not getting the supplies of uranium. So what we did, we contacted US, because US is the boss. US is the boss for almost every international organization. So we contacted US. US told it, "Okay, you need not be a member of US, member of NSG, but we will give you a guarantee on behalf of India in NSG." So because India and USA has signed this peace deal, that is a new nuclear deal into 2008, now all the countries trade uranium with India, despite India not being a member of NSG, because USA has given approval. USA has told to the world that, okay, you can trade with India regarding uranium, despite not being energy. Now, despite not being a member of energy. Now, USA, now because of US's approval, all the countries are trading with India regarding uranium. So we are getting uranium supplies from different countries, despite not being a member of NSG. Getting it? So this is the relevance of India-US nuclear deal. In order to get uranium supply, any country, if any country has to get uranium supply, that country has to be a member of this NSG. India is not a member of NSG. So again here, why, if you might ask, why India is not a member of NSG? So India tried to become a member of NSG, but however, China is blocking us. Mainly China is blocking us. China is telling that if India comes into energy, even Pakistan should also come to energy. So China is not allowing us to be a part of energy. So again here, NSG works on the basis of consensus. That is, all the 51 members who are a part of NSG, nuclear suppliers group, they will have to accept the new member. If any one member rejects, the new member cannot be taken into this energy. So China is one of the countries that keeps rejecting India. So because of that, we are not able to. That's the main reason. So because of that, we are not able to be a part of energy. So if we are not able to be a part of energy, we will not get nuclear supplies. So that is, we will not get uranium supplies. So as an alternative, what we did, we went to US, and US gave approval for the world, saying that we can trade with India regarding uranium. So that is your nuclear India-US nuclear deal. So right on here, India-US. After this, we'll have a break, Shweta. After writing this, we'll have a break. So right on here, India-US nuclear deal. India-US nuclear deal allowed India allowed India to procure allowed India to procure nuclear raw materials allowed India to procure nuclear raw materials nuclear raw materials despite nuclear raw materials from other countries, from other countries, despite despite not being a part of 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 NSG, nuclear supplier group, despite not being a part of nuclear suppliers group, NSG. Fine. Okay. So we'll take a break. Please, here. Today we'll take 10 minutes break because tomorrow is the last class. We need to wind up. Fine. So please come by 7:50. Yeah. So just one second. Okay, so let us start with this thing. So Obama regime. So again here, so during Obama regime, so we further enhanced the relationship. So right on here, Obama regime, Obama regime, 2009 till 2014. Obama regime 2009 till 2014. Okay, so 2009 till 2014. So right on here. So further enhanced the economic ties and defense cooperation. Further enhanced the economic ties and defense cooperation between India and USA. Between India and USA. Between India and USA. Joint next point right on. Joint manufacturing of defense equipment defense equipment joint manufacturing of uh, joint manufacturing of defense equipments started. See, after Bush regime, every president of India, or sorry, president of US wants to engage with India because India is a big market, and secondly, the disposable income in India is growing, and thirdly, India is a democratic country. And next why they are engaging with India is that China is competing with USA. China is a big challenge to USA. In order to control China, India plays a crucial role. If they support India, India will control China's rise. That is the agenda. That is why USA is supporting India. So again, USA is giving support in terms of defense, in terms of investment, etc. The reason being that they don't want another superpower who could challenge USA, that is China. They don't want a powerful China. So in order to control that, another alternative is India. So that's the reason. So next one right now. So during post 2014, post 2014, that is post 2014, post 2014, post 2014, increased defense. Right on here, post 2014, increased defense cooperation by signing increased defense cooperation by signing various defense agreement. Increased defense cooperation by signing various defense agreements. By signing various defense agreements. By signing various defense agreements. So what are these various defense agreements? So right on here, first one is Lemova. So yeah, so first one is defense agreement. First one is Lemova 2016. Just write Lemova. That is sufficient. Lemova 2016. Okay, what is this Lemova 2016 Logistic Exchange Memorandum of Agreement? This is for the first time. For the first time we had with US, where US could use India's military base, and India could use their military base. So you're getting this concept. So earlier India could not use US military base, and US could not use India's military base. In 2016 we signed this Lemova agreement, where US could use all the military base of India in India, and India could use their military base. This was a progressive defense agreement. It shows that India and US are a very close partners. That is, we are now sharing our military bases also. So that is your Lemova agreement. And the next one is Comcasa. So write this Comcasa 2018. Comcasa 2018. Comcasa 2018. Communication compatibility and security agreement. Just write Comcasa 2018. So that is sufficient. But everything has to be in caps. Comcasa 2018. Okay, under this Comcasa 2018, we emphasized on interoperability. So interoperability in the sense, the weapon system that US military uses, similar weapon system would be used in India. Or say Indian weapons system, similar weapons would be used in USA. That is, interoperability would be emphasized. That is, US could operate in India, India could operate in US. And second one is the defense technology export from US could increase into India. So this is your Comcasa. And the next one is BECA, BECA, BECA 2020. BECA 2020, to share military technology and geospatial mapping. To share military technology and geospatial mapping. To share military technology and geospatial mapping. Okay, so USA has a sophisticated mapping technology. There's the satellites have mapped so much so that 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter is visible. So 5 centimeter is what? How much? This one. This is 5 centimeter. A 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter is it can be clearly visible with the maps which US has. Say if you see your Google Maps satellite view, it's highly pixelated, so you will not see a clear image. But whereas US has US map technology is so much so that their accuracy is up to 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter. When we had a clash, when we had Galwan Valley clash with China, so it was US which provided us the information, that is a geospatial mapping. The resolution is so much so that 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter is also visible. So yeah, that is BECA agreement, basic exchange and cooperation agreement. Fine. Okay, so this happened during Modi's regime, that is post 2014, post 2014. And next point, write down. Next point, write down. Increased cooperation in climate change. 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 Increased cooperation in climate change during Biden's regime. During Biden regime. During Biden's regime. Joe Biden's regime. Okay, during Joe Biden's regime. So this is the evolution of India and USA. Now let us see the what are the other engagements. So yeah, once again. So other areas of focus. So please write down here areas of focus. Areas of focus. First one is economics. Areas of focus. Areas of focus are, first one is economics. So again here, surprisingly, with USA has trade deficit with India. So in the sense, USA imports a lot of services, goods and services from India compared to India importing from USA. So USA has trade deficit with India. So this is something good for India, where India exports a lot of services. See, it is not that goods we are exporting goods. We are exporting a lot of services. All these IT sectors, all the IT solutions that we provide. So we are exporting a lot of services to USA. So India maintains a positive trade relation with USA. So write down here. So in terms of economics, write down India tops, first one, write down India tops the export service export to USA. India tops the service exports to USA. Service India tops the service exports to USA. Okay. So next one, write down USA is one of the largest. USA is one of the largest. USA is one of the largest source for FDI, largest source for FDI in India, largest source for FDI in India, largest source for FDI in India. Okay, India exports pharmaceutical products. India exports pharmaceutical products, pharmaceutical products, gems and jewels, gems and jewelry, gems and jewelry, gems and jewelry, and textiles, textile, textile products. Okay, these are the exports from India. So this is the economic relation between India and US. Now let us consider the defense engagements. So write down here defense engagements. And defense engagement in US is one of the largest suppliers. US is one of the largest suppliers, one of the largest suppliers of defense equipment, post 2000. US is one of the largest supplier of defense equipment post 2000, post 2000, post 2000. Fine. Okay, next one, right on. So the joint, next point, right on, joint research and manufacturing of defense equipments, joint research and manufacturing of defense equipments. Next one is joint military exercise, joint military exercise, joint military exercise, joint military exercise, joint military exercise. So this is your joint military exercise. So India and US indulges in joint military exercise. Fine. Okay. So example you can write Malabar exercise. Example Malabar. Example joint military exercise Malabar. Okay, so along with defense, we are having strategic engagements. So write down here, strategic engagements, strategic engagements, strategic engagements, strategic engagements. First one is US supports India's US support India for permanent member in UNSC. US supports India for permanent member in UNSC. UNSC has 5 permanent members. India wants to be a permanent member also. So for that, US is supporting. US supports India as a permanent member in UNSC. Second one, US supports India's inclusion. US supports India's inclusion in NSG. US supports India's inclusion in NSG, Nuclear Suppliers Group. Okay, so in UNSC, US supports in India to become a permanent members. In NSG also, US supports India to become a member of NSG. But however, it is China who is blocking India's membership in the permanent five or P5. Even in NSG, it is China who is blocking India. Now, US is supporting India in NSG as well as in your UNSC. Fine. And the next one, right on 2 plus 2 ministerial dialogues. 2 plus 2 ministerial dialogues. 2 plus 2 ministerial dialogues. It is a high level meeting. It is a high level meeting. It is a high level meeting between the foreign ministers and defense ministers. It is a high level meeting between the foreign ministers and defense ministers and defense ministers and defense ministers of both the countries of both the countries to strengthen India US strategic partnership. India US strategic partnership, trade relation. India US strategic partnership, trade relation, and defense defense relation and defense relations, defense and security relations. Okay, so it's conducted once in 2 years. Once in 2 years, it's conducted. So before COVID, it was every year it was conducted. After COVID, now it's once in 2 years. So there's nothing specific as such regarding the frequency. But however, the objective of this 2+2 meeting is that your defense minister and your external affairs minister, that's a foreign minister, and again here defense and foreign ministers of US, they both meet together in order to discuss the issues regarding trade, bilateral trade, and bilateral defense cooperation. So this is your 2+2 ministerial dialogues. And the next one you write on support. US here next point is that US supports India. US supports India during a bilateral. US supports India during bilateral clash during the bilateral clash between India and China. During the bilateral clash between India and China. During the bilateral clash between India and China. Fine. So US is in our favor, more or less. US is in our favor. The reason being that it is not that US is helping out in India, the reason being that US is seeing its interest. US is trying to push its interest via India. So how? So US now, who is the player that is challenging US? That is, it is China. China is challenging US. So who can control China's rise? It is US who can control China's rise. Sorry, it is India who can control China's rise. So as the reason, US is supporting India. So whatever US is doing, US is doing to promote its interest. See, the famous quote that is told by US President Bush. He tells that there are no permanent friends in international relation. There are permanent interest. So before in 1998, US imposed severe economic sanctions on India. So India became an enemy. In 2000, India became a very close friend of India. So Bush, he tells that there are no permanent friends in international relation. There are permanent interest. So India is a friend of US currently because India is supporting their interest, US interest. It is not that India is giving any favor for India. Matlab US is not doing any favor for India. So yeah, that is the thing. Fine. Okay. So now let us see the challenges. So what are the challenges in India-US relationship? So write down challenges in India-US relationship. So first one is trade disputes, bilateral trade disputes, bilateral trade disputes, bilateral trade disputes. US imposes a restriction on US imposes a restriction on Indian pharmaceutical products. US imposes restriction on Indian pharmaceutical products and agricultural products. So see, we have a good competitive edge in terms of pharmaceutical products and agriculture, right? But however, US tells that our pharmaceutical products doesn't meet the standards in US. And secondly, US tells that our agricultural products has lot of pesticide elements in it. So regarding based on safety issues, they don't allow most of the agricultural products entering into US. So this is another thing. And the next challenge is that IPR, intellectual property rights protection. IPR protection. US criticizes India. US criticizes India for not holding, for not respecting US IPR in India, for not respecting US IPR in India. See, one major criticism in terms of economics is that economic relation is that US keeps criticizing India for violating IPR rights, and to some extent it's true also. Not to some extent, but in the reality it's true. India is a developing country, so we cannot afford to pay royalty to the companies. So what we do is that we usually use IPR without paying the royalty to the original parent company. So US keeps criticizing us. So the reason why India has become a pharmaceutical hub is that the innovations, the research work of all the medicines have been done in the West, and we take that formula and we manufacture the medicine. But in the pharmaceutical industry, over 80-90 percentage of the money goes in terms of research. So and it is just say 10-20 percentage of money goes in terms of production. So but what we are doing is that we are taking their research work and we are producing it, so without paying them adequate money. So it doesn't happen in every case. In few cases it happens. In few pharmaceutical companies, they violate the IPR rights. So that issue is being taken. That's one of the challenge between India US relation. And the next challenge is visa and immigration policies. So write down here visa and immigration policies. Visa and immigration policies. Visa and immigration policies are not favorable. US visa and immigration policies are not favorable, are not favorable to India, are not favorable to Indians. And next one, write down India-Russia relation, India-Russia relation, and India-Iran relation, India-Russia relation, and India-Iran relation IRKS, 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 IRKS USA, IRKS USA, because USA doesn't like Iran, USA doesn't like Russia. If India engages with Russia, India engages with Iran, they get irritated, and they threaten with sanction. IRKS USA, continue. IRKS USA, and threatens, and threatens with sanctions, and threatens with sanctions, and threatens with sanctions, and threatens with sanctions, threatens with sanctions. Next one, right on. Lack of adequate support, lack of adequate cooperation regarding the climate change, regarding climate change mitigation efforts, regarding the climate change mitigation efforts, regarding the climate change mitigation efforts, regarding the climate change mitigation efforts. Fine. Okay, so these are the broad challenges between India and US relations. Fine. So, right on, measures to overcome, or say way ahead. Way ahead, right on, way ahead, way ahead. First one, increasing diplomatic engagements, increasing diplomatic engagements, diplomatic engagements. Next one, right on. Cooperation through multilateral forums, like cooperation, increasing cooperation through multilateral forums, through multilateral forums, like Quad, like Quad, through multilateral forums like Quad, Quad. Next one, strengthening people to people contact, strengthening people to people contact, strengthening people to people contact, strengthening people to people contact. Okay, fine. So these are the ways through which we can resolve all these issues with US. Now we'll take up Russia. So one of the closest ally that India has. So time tested friend since Indira Gandhi's period. Fine. Okay. So now write down Russia. So Russia relationship. Okay, why Russia is important for us? So before understanding why Russia is important for us, or say what is the relation between India and Russia, we'll have to analyze why exactly Russia is a power. Russia is a superpower. Why do we consider Russia as a super powerful or a great power? So US is a great power because US has a strong military, US has a strong economy, US has a good network, that is a good political connections, good networks. So they have a strong geopolitical connections. But what makes Russia a military? What makes Russia a great power? So now let us see what is the significance. Very good, Uni. It's all about strong military. So there's this equation, right? So economy, yeah, economy, military, polity. Next is military. Okay, so here it's always like this. Political power will cancel military economic power. Military power will cancel political power. So, in a sense, if you are politically strong, you can cancel out the economic power. So, you are militarily strong, you have a lot of weapons, you have a strong military, you can cancel the polity. So, political unit. So it's something like this. Say in India, if you consider, so political unit is always powerful. That is, the prime minister is always powerful than the richest man. The prime minister is always powerful than Ambanis and Adanis, or say even Tatas and Birlas. So this Tatas and Birlas, Ambanis, Adanis, they have more money, but however, the power lies with the political entity. So who is much more powerful than the political entity? Military. So if you consider, say, Pakistan, so in Pakistan, military is seen as an independent entity, whereas in India, military is controlled by the government. Whereas in Pakistan, it is military is seen as an independent entity. So it is the military which controls a political entity. So ultimately, it is the military power which is supreme. So if you see here, the reason why US is a great power, because it has a supreme military power. Similarly, why Russia is a great power, it has a supreme military power. But however, if you see the economics of Russia, it is very poor in a sense. It is not even considered as a developed country as such. So it's an economy in transition. There's no element of super developed country as such. So but however, Russia is a military power. That is why it is a great power. So understood. So Russia is not an economic power, it is a great power. By using hard force, not the soft power, by using hard power, Russia is exerting its influence across the world. Say, be it in Central Asia, be it in Afghanistan, or say, be it on Ukraine, currently on Ukraine. How your Russia is how Russia is controlling Ukraine? Military power. How Russia, why Europe is afraid of Russia? Because Russia has military power. It is not that Russia is going to impose economic sanctions on Europe. So why we have why sometimes why India accepts the rulings of US? It's because our economics is closely tied with US. So we don't want economic sanctions. But with respect to Russia and Europe, there are no close economic connection. But still, Russia, Europe doesn't vocally go against Russia, because Europe is afraid of Russia's military power. Because Russia is a military power, Russia becomes a great power. Fine. Okay. So any doubt over here? Yeah, see, less population in every aspect. Russia is not supreme. Say, be it in terms of population, be it in terms of economy, it's less population, not a great economy. Recession. Russia is facing recession. Their economy is not growing. Their economy is almost stagnant. Population is stagnant. Population is not growing. But however, despite this, Russia is a military is a superpower, or say it's a great power, because Russia's military is strong. So that's the reason. Fine. So write down here that's a geopolitical significance of Russia. Geopolitical significance of Russia. Why military is inferior in India? No, not inferior as such, Zaba. Indian military is also strong, but however, we are not as supreme as Russia, or say US. For us, the priorities are different. For us, should we assume that you're a cabinet secretary? Should you direct the prime minister to spend in terms of defense, or should you direct in terms of spending in terms of education and health needs? Today, 80 crore people in India receive free ration from the government, which means that they don't have capacity to survive on their own. They require government support just for their survival. 80 crore people. So now, should we focus on defense, or should we focus on social development? So that's the reason. So for us, we have to balance, since we do not have a friendly countries, like say our neighbors are not a friendly, not very friendly. Say, be it Pakistan or say be it China, they are not very friendly. So for that, we have to increase our defense expenditure. But however, more focus should be on our this thing, social development. Fine. Okay. So write down here geopolitical significance of Russia. Geopolitical significance of Russia. First one is point wise. Large geographic areas, large geographic areas, large geographic areas, which has boundaries with large geographic area, which has boundaries with Europe, Europe, Central Asia, Europe, Central Asia, China, China, and Arctic, China and Arctic, China and Arctic. Full stop. Within brackets, you write Russia can influence these territories. Russia can influence these territories. Since Russia borders with Europe, Russia borders with Central Asia, Russia borders with China, Russia borders with entire Arctic region, so Russia can influence, can politically influence these territories. So that's a big territory in itself. So next one, write down. Next geopolitical influences. Russia is a permanent member in UNSC. Next point is Russia is a permanent member in UNSC. Russia is a permanent member in UNSC. Russia is a permanent member in UNSC. Yeah, next one, write down. Russia controls Baltic Sea. This is your Baltic Sea. Russia controls Baltic Sea, Black Sea. Russia controls Baltic Sea, Black Sea, and Arctic Ocean, and Arctic, and this one, Arctic Ocean, and Arctic Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Arctic Ocean. So Russia is seen as a land power. Russia is seen also a naval power, because all these regions, that is Baltic, Black Sea, and Arctic, is completely under your Russia's control. So write down here. Next one, write down. Russia has the largest territory in Arctic region. Russia has the largest territory in Arctic region. Largest territory in Arctic region. Okay, first one, next one, write down. Russia has close relation. Russia has a close relation with China. Russia has a close relation with China. Close relation with China, which is an emerging power. Which is an emerging power. Which is an emerging power. Fine. Okay. So these are the geopolitical significance of Russia. Now let us consider the geopolitical significance of Russia. So now let us see the geostrategic significance of Russia. So write down this geostrategic significance of Russia. So what are the geostrategic significance of Russia? So first one, write down. Russia is a nuclear triad. Russia is a nuclear triad. Russia is a nuclear triad. What is the meaning of nuclear triad? Any country which has capability to launch nuclear weapons from land, from sea, and from air. So that's a nuclear triad. So Russia is a nuclear triad. So that in itself makes it a strategic. It's a geostrategic significance. And the next one is energy hegemony. So energy hegemony. Energy hegemony. Energy hegemony. Energy hegemony. Russia is one of the largest supplier of oil and natural gas. Russia is one of the largest supplier of oil and natural gas. Oil and natural gas. So they virtually control the oil and natural gas market. So mainly to Europe, Russia is the largest supplier, one of the largest supplier to Europe. So again, not just Europe, across the world. But however, Europe is highly dependent on Russia. So why Europe doesn't vocally raise voice against Russia is that Europe's energy security is dependent on Russia mainly. So that's the reason. And the next one is Russia is the second largest military power. Russia has the second largest military power. Second largest military power in the region. Second largest military power in the region. Okay, so these are the geostrategic significance of Russia. So geoeconomic significance. See, right on geoeconomic significance. First is US. So geoeconomic significance. Shweta, first is US. Okay, geoeconomic significance of Russia. See, Russia is not some economical power as such. See, Russia is a military power. So the Russia has few minerals, but however, these minerals they're not of much importance as such. In the sense that they cannot guide the dynamics of geopolitics in the world. So right on here, geoeconomic significance. Geoeconomic significance. So first one, right now, Russia, Russia controls Russia geoeconomic significance. Right on here, Russia controls the arms export market. Arms, ARMS. Russia controls the arms export market. Arms export market. Russia controls the arms export market. Next one, right on. Russia, yeah, next one, right on. Russia controls the energy market of the world. Russia controls the energy market of the world. So yeah, below, but however, also below this, right on. However, due to the Western sanction, however, due to the Western sanction on Russia, however, due to the Western sanction, Western in the sense that is Europe and US has imposed sanctions. Due to the Western sanctions on Russia, Russia doesn't have much geoeconomic significance. Russia doesn't have much geoeconomics significance. Geoeconomics significance. Russia doesn't have much geoeconomics significance. Fine. Okay. Okay, so now let us write down Crimean crisis, 2014 Crimea crisis, Crimean crisis, 2014 Crimean crisis. See here, please see here. Russia, if you just see this map, so this map, Russia has control over Baltic Sea, Arctic Ocean, and Black Sea. In order to have a control over Black Sea, this is Russia. So again here, this is a Crimea. This is Crimean Peninsula. It was part of Ukraine. Crimean Peninsula was a part of Ukraine. So Russia, in order to increase its influence in Black Sea, because Baltic Sea is not properly accessible in the winter times, it is not properly accessible. So sometimes there's freezing. But however, in order to access to the, in order to be this thing powerful, in order to have a powerful navy, also Russia wanted to control this Black Sea. how to control Black Sea. So what Russia did, they annexed Crimea. So this Crimea belonged to Ukraine, but Russia in 2014 they annexed Crimea using military power. See, this annexation is happening in 2014 also. It is because Russia is a super military power. By using military power, Russia annexed Crimea, and now Crimea has become a territory of Russia. So now Russia is controlling the Black Sea. So this is your Crimean crisis. So what did the Western power do? What did US do? What did Europe do? Nothing. They just gave some moral support to Ukraine, but nothing really happened. So this is your Crimean crisis. So write down here, 2014 Crimean crisis. 2014 Crimean crisis. Crimea, Crimean crisis. So Crimea has large Russian speaking people. Crimea has large Russian speaking people, large Russian speaking people, a large Russian speaking people. Full stop. Russia alleges that Russia alleges that Ukraine 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 doesn't Ukraine does not develop the region. Ukraine does not develop the Crimean region, and the Russians and the Russian speaking people and the Russian speaking people prefer to be a part of Russia, and the Russian speaking people in Crimea and the Russian speaking people in Crimea prefer to be a part of prefer to be a part of prefer to be a part of Russia prefer to be a part of Russia. Full stop. Okay, so the thing was that, so Crimea, Russia's agenda was to annex Crimea for controlling Black Sea. But what did Russia tell? Russia told that this Crimean Peninsula has large Russian speaking people. This Ukraine is not developing this Crimean Peninsula because there are large Russian speaking people. They are not, and this Russian speaking people, they want themselves to be a part of Russia. So what Russia did in February 2014, Russia's military annexed Crimea, conducted a referendum, and in this referendum majority voted in favor of Russia. So Crimea became a part of Russia. So write down here, in February 2014, Russia annexed Crimea. Russia annexed Crimea in February 2014. Russia annexed Crimea. Russia annexed Crimea using military force, and conducted a referendum. And conducted a referendum. Yeah, what happened to the pen here? Okay, and conducted a referendum. Where majority supported Russia. Then Crimea, full stop. Then Crimea became a part of Russia. Then Crimea became a part of Russia. Then Crimea became a part of Russia. Crimea became a part of Russia. Fine. So this was your Crimean crisis. Fine. So this was your Crimean crisis, and the next one was the ongoing war. So Ukraine-Russia war. Ukraine-Russia war. The concept is very simple. So Ukraine Russia war, why there's a war that's going on. Say this is your Ukraine. So Ukraine, the map is not clear over here. So this is Ukraine. So this is Ukraine, please see here. This is Europe. This is Europe region. This is Ukraine. So this is a part of your Eastern Europe. So your entire Western Europe is a part of NATO. What is NATO? Yeah, what is yeah, NATO. Yeah, what is NATO? So NATO is a political and military organization which has somewhere around 31, 32 countries, where US is seen as a leader. So it is a political and military organization of 31, 32 countries of North America and Europe. So all these countries have come together and formed one organization called as NATO. It is kind of a military organization where US is seen as a leader. The objective is that if any one country suffers any military attack, all this remaining country would support them. So that is the objective. So there are 31 countries, 32 countries, I believe. Yeah, it's 32 countries. So there are 32 countries in this NATO. If any one country has a military attack by any other country, so the remaining 31 countries would support this one country. So that is the concept of NATO. So North Atlantic Treaty Organization, across North Atlantic, all the countries have combined together to form a military organization where the objective is that if any one country faces some threats, remaining 31 countries would support them. So that is the objective of NATO. So but what happened was, in NATO, US is seen as a leader. So now this Ukraine was going to be wanted to be a member of NATO. So it wanted US protection. But if they want US, if Ukraine enters, please see here, if Ukraine enters NATO, then US can deploy their army over here. Then US can deploy their military in Ukraine. That Russia doesn't want. Russia doesn't want US army to be near Russia. So as a reason, Russia doesn't want Ukraine to be Ukraine to be a part of NATO. So what happened? Russia sees Ukraine as a buffer state between Europe and Russia. Ukraine is seen as a buffer state. This is Europe. This is Russia. So this is Russia. Ukraine. Ukraine is seen as a buffer state. But now Ukraine is moving towards NATO. So Russia felt, okay, if you move towards NATO, it is a threat for me. So what Russia did? Russia attacked Ukraine. So Russia attacked Ukraine. Russia captured. Currently, Russia has captured 20 percentage of Ukraine, and Russia is more or less controlling the Ukraine region. That is the eastern Ukraine region. All this eastern Ukraine region is now controlled by Russia. So this is the basics of your Russia-Ukraine war. So write down here Russia-Ukraine war. So, first point right on, Ukraine wanted to be a member of NATO. First point, Ukraine wanted to be a member of NATO. Fine. Russia, next point right on, Russia sees Ukraine, Russia considers Ukraine, Russia considers Ukraine as a buffer state. Russia considers Ukraine as a buffer state, as a buffer state between, as a buffer state between Europe and Russia. Russia sees Ukraine as a buffer state between Europe and Russia. Between Europe and Russia. Full stop. If Ukraine joins NATO, if Ukraine joins NATO, Russia, if Ukraine joins NATO, Russia, Russia could face threats from NATO. Russia could face threats from NATO. Could face threats from NATO. Full stop. Full stop. So what Russia did? Russia could not use this as a reason to attack Ukraine. So what Russia did? So Russia told that this eastern Ukraine people, this eastern Ukraine region has low development, and the eastern, like how Russia did for Crimea, the Russia tells that this eastern European people, eastern Ukraine people are Russian speaking people. Russia, Ukraine is not developing that region. So this Russian speaking people in Ukraine, they want to be a part of Russia. So as a reason, they attacked, Russia attacked Ukraine. So next point, right on. The Russia, yeah, right on. Russia wanted to develop the eastern Ukraine region, wanted to develop the eastern Ukraine region, which is dominated by, which is dominated by, which is dominated by Russian speaking people. Russian speaking people. Russian speaking people. As a reason, as a reason, Russia attacked, as a reason, Russia attacked Ukraine. As a reason, Russia attacked Ukraine in 2022. In 2022, Russia attacked Ukraine in 2022 and has captured, and has captured 20 percentage of Ukraine territory, and has captured 20 percentage of Ukraine territory till now, and has captured 20 percentage of Ukraine territory till now. Fine. So this is your Russia, that is Russia Ukraine war. So both in Russia Crimea war and Russia Ukraine war, whom did India support? Whom did India support? India did not support the West. So below this, right on, in both the above crisis, in both the above crisis, in both the above crisis, India did not support Ukraine or the West. India did not support the Ukraine or the West, or the West, but India maintained neutrality. But India maintained neutrality. India maintained neutrality. So in this case, who is wrong? Is Russia wrong or is Ukraine wrong? Who is wrong? So what do you think? Who is wrong? What should be India's stance? So is India taking a right stance? Sir, both are wrong. Why? Who is wrong? So in this both the case, who is wrong? So Ukraine is wrong or Russia is wrong? Like who is right? Russia is wrong. Okay. No, yeah. In international relation, their interest matters. So we cannot tell Ukraine is wrong over here, but at the same time, we cannot tell Russia is also wrong here. Russia is struggling for its existence. If Ukraine joins NATO, US will come and station their military next to Russia. Then it is a threat for Russia, right? So what Russia is doing, from Russia's perspective, it is right. That is for their existence, for the survival. What Russia is doing is right. But the problem is that the civilians should not get affected. And whether India should support Ukraine or Russia, India should see its interest first. Did Ukraine support India or did Russia support India? When India was in troubles, who supported India? say, does Indian defense sector depends on Ukraine or it doesn't depend on Russia? So India's defense sector depends on Russia. It was Russia who supported us during India-Pakistan war. So whom should we support? So again here, the all this concept of morality, all these things will take a backseat in international relation. In international relation, what is the right thing to do? The right thing is always national interest. So as Kautilya says, national interest is the highest morality in international relation. So focusing on one's national interest is the highest morality in international relations. So again here, the concept is different with respect to Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore focuses on internationalism, but that's very too idealistic. We have to be very pragmatic. Here, what is the gains that India gets if we support Ukraine? So what is the gains that India gets if we support Russia? So we get a lot of favor if we support Russia. Whether it is right or wrong, so depends on from whose perspective are we thinking. So we are thinking from, if you think from Ukraine's perspective, ठीक है, Ukraine for its safety, because Russia is a superpower, for its safety, Ukraine wants US support. But think from Russia's angle. Russia, for its safety, it doesn't want US next to next to Russia. So, from India's perspective, what India has done is a right thing only. That is, India has supported Russia. Also, India has maintained neutrality, slightly tilting towards Russia. India has not criticized Russia at all. So, in this aspect, India has not at all criticized Russia. So, okay, someone is telling war Khwadi. Okay, here no political comments over here. Okay, so nothing to do with the political comments over here. Okay, so thinking from national interest. Now, fine. India's national interest is yeah, Russia is greedy. ठीक है यार, Russia is greedy. No, not exactly is greedy, man. मतलब, if think from India's perspective, why are we militarizing the India-China border? Isn't it bad? So we are militarizing for our security, right? So had India been a super powerful country, we could have engaged with China and conquered Tibet also. So that would have been possible, right? For our interest, we are doing. For Russia's interest, Russia is doing. Think from Russia's perspective. So your greatest enemy, if they come next to your border, isn't it a threat for you? It is a threat for you. And India's closest ally is Russia. Whom should we support? So we should support Russia. So that's what the government of India is doing. Fine. Yeah, so fine. So suppose, yeah, India Russia, very good, Raz. India Russia are a close ally, the closest ally. We can or we may not trust US, but Russia is one of the closest ally. It's a time tested friend. So when India had nothing to offer, Russia supported us. During Pakistan war 1971, when India had nothing to offer, so Russia supported us. So now it's the time we have to support them, right? So yeah, okay, so this is Russia Ukraine war. Okay, now let us take up the evolution of India USSR relation. India USSR relation. So write down quickly, write down. I will taking 10 minutes extra, fine, because tomorrow is our last class, so today I'll be taking 10 minutes extra. So right down here. So early years. So right down here, 1947 to 1991. So this is, yeah, this is 1947. Early years. This has to be 1947. Early years, post 1947. So post 1947. Right down here, post 1947 till 1947 to 1960s. Post 1947 till 1960s. So right down here, post 1947 to 1960s. So here, India, right down. India maintained neutrality. India maintained neutrality during the Cold War. India maintained neutrality during the Cold War as as it was a part of NAM, as it was a part of NAM, as it was a part of NAM. However, full stop. However, India's ideological alignment, however, India's ideological alignment, however, India's ideological alignment, ideological alignment matched with US, matched with USSR. However, India's ideological alignment matched with USSR, matched with USSR, matched with USSR in terms of socialism, in terms of socialism, in terms of socialism. Full stop. Okay. So next write down, next phase write down, 1970s to 1990s, 1970s to 1990s, 1991. Write down 1970s to 1991, 1970s to 1991, 1970s to 1991. India signed a friendship treaty with USSR. India signed a friendship treaty with USSR. Friendship treaty with USSR. With USSR that enhanced defense cooperation, defense cooperation, energy trade, defense cooperation, energy trade, and economic ties, and economic ties between two countries, between two countries, between two nations. So that is after during Indira Gandhi's period, we can consider that was a golden period between India and Russia. So we had a very close contact, close cordial relation between India and Russia during this period. That is 1971 to 1991. So from 1970s to 1991. So next write down 1990s to 2000s, 1991 to 2000. 1991 to 2000, 1991 to 2000. Write down post the disintegration of USSR, full stop, post the disintegration of USSR, post the disintegration of USSR in 1991, disintegration of USSR in 1991, India renewed its India renewed its friendship treaty. India renewed its friendship treaty with Russia in 1993. In 1993. So what happened? So this 1971 friendship treaty was with USSR, right? So but in USSR got disintegrated in 1991. That is after the Cold War, USSR got disintegrated. So this friendship treaty, the 1971 friendship treaty was with USSR. Now there's no USSR anymore. So Russia has formed. So now we in 1993 we had a renewed friendship treaty with Russia. So that treaty is known as India-Russia Friendship, Indo-Russian Friendship and Cooperation Treaty 1993. That is Indo-Russia Friendship and Cooperation Treaty 1993. So below this write down this 1993 treaty, the 1993 treaty further, the 1993 treaty further strengthened the defense and economic ties. Further strengthened the defense and economic ties. So write on 2000 till present times. Putin's regime, President Putin, Vladimir Putin, Putin's regime. 2000s till the present times, Putin's regime. So Putin is considered so mainly the relationship between India and Putin. Even though the prime ministers in India have changed, but Putin has maintained a very close contact with India despite the prime ministers being changed in India. So Putin is actually taking proactive measures to engage with India. So again here is not doing any favor as such. There's a big defense industries in Russia, and in order to promote the defense industries in Russia, so Putin is proactively engaging with India. So right on here, 2000 till present times under Putin's regime. So right on here, in 2000, India signed, that is in 2000, yeah, in 2000, India signed a strategic partnership agreement. So we signed a strategic partnership agreement. So before there was no strategic partnership agreement. In 2000, we signed a strategic partnership agreement. So we signed a strategic partnership agreement. Signed a strategic partnership agreement that enhanced the defense and energy ties, that enhanced the defense and energy ties, that enhanced the defense and energy ties between two countries, between India and Russia, between India and Russia. Right on. In 2005, India signed a long-term agreement. In 2005, India signed a long-term agreement for the supply of oil and gas, for the supply of oil and gas, for the supply of oil and gas to India, oil and gas to India, for the supply of Russian oil and gas to India, Russian oil and gas to India. Next write down. In 2011, Russia signed an agreement. India, Russia signed an agreement. For the construction of nuclear plants, for the construction of two new nuclear plants, for the construction of two new nuclear plants in India, for the construction of two nuclear plants in India, two new nuclear plants in India. So it is going on. So right on here, post 2014, India further enhanced the defense ties with Russia by importing S-400, S-400 anti-missile system, S-400 anti-missile system. Anti-missile system. Fine. Okay. So now write down Russia's importance for India. So why Russia is important for India? So write down here Russia's importance for India. Russia's importance for India. I'll take 5 minutes extra. So first one write down geostrategic importance. Geostrategic importance of Russia. Geostrategic importance of Russia. Yeah. First one is Russia is a P5 member, that is permanent 5 in UN. Russia is a P5 member in UNSC. Russia is a P5 member in UNSC, and India requires Russia's support. And India requires Russia's support in UNSC. Fine. So next one, write down Russia ensures energy security in India. Russia ensures energy security in India. Russia ensures energy security in India. Energy security in India. As Russia has large oil reserves, oil and gas reserves. As Russia has large oil and gas reserves. Next one is Russia supports India's nuclear program. 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 Next one, writer. Russia's support is needed. Russia's support is needed for India to participate. Russia's support is needed for India to participate in INS to participate in INS INS TC INS International North South Trade Corridor to participate in INSTC International North South Trade Corridor INSTC. Fine. So these are the geostrategic importance. And the next one, write down. Russia's support is needed to access Arctic. Russia's support is needed to access Arctic resources. The Arctic Ocean, the Arctic resources. Arctic resource. As Russia is the as Russia is the largest player in Arctic. As Russia is the largest player in Arctic. In Arctic. Fine. Okay. Russia's importance for India's defense. So write down here. Russia's importance for India's defense. Challenges we'll see tomorrow. Now we'll just see the defense importance. First one is Russia's first one, a reliable arms supplier to Russia. So a reliable arms supplier to India. So why Russia is important important to India's defense? One is reliable arms supplier. A reliable arms supplier. And the next one is joint research and development. Joint research and development. Joint research and development of defense equipment. Joint research and development of defense equipments. Example, BrahMos. Example, BrahMos. Example, BrahMos. BrahMos missile. Example, BrahMos missile. Supply, next one, right on. Supply of nuclear powered submarines. Supply of nuclear powered submarines to India. So India doesn't have its own nuclear powered submarine. So all the submarines that we have leased it from Russia. So supply of nuclear powered nuclear powered submarines. Supply of nuclear powered submarines. Say INS Chakra. So yeah, INS Chakra. INS Chakra. INS Chakra. Yeah, INS Chakra. Next one is intelligence sharing. Intelligence sharing to India. Intelligence sharing to India. Intelligence sharing to India. Okay, so this is the importance, say, be it in terms of geostrategic importance or say defense importance. If you see from economics importance, we do not have a great trade between India and Russia. So there's no major trade as such. Whatever the trade that is there, it's in terms of energy, it is in terms of defense. These are the two commodities that we actively trade. But apart from that, there's some trade of say textiles is there, and pharmaceutical trade takes place, but that's not of much relevance because the population of Russia is also small and it is not an big market as such. The trade, so below this, write down in economics, write down one point, write down the important trade takes place in defense and energy. The important trade, it's largely focused on energy and defense. The trade is largely focused on energy and defense. Largely focused on energy and defense. Full stop. In the recent years, energy and defense. In the recent years, pharmaceutical, in the recent years, pharmaceutical products and IT, information technology, pharmaceutical products and IT trade, information technology trade is increasing. Is increasing. Even that is not substantial. The important trade commodities are your oil, that is your energy, that's oil, gas, and then defense equipment. So this is the broad aspects of India-Russia relationship. So tomorrow we'll take up challenges, or should we complete challenges today and tomorrow we'll take up grouping? So what shall we do? We'll complete challenges today, or tomorrow we'll take up. Okay, tomorrow. Okay, fine. Today. Okay, mixed reactions. Okay, so tomorrow, fine. Okay, fine. So tomorrow we'll take up challenges, and then we'll start with the groupings tomorrow. Fine. Okay. Oh, someone is telling poll vote. Okay. Now that today, yeah, there is some element, right? Like poll or something like that. Okay. Start a new poll. What is survey poll? Okay. Normal poll. Okay. Two options. Yeah. A is today. B is tomorrow. We'll have a poll then. Okay, 57% is today and 47 percentage tomorrow. Okay, fine. So okay, so it will not take more than 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. Okay, so please be patient so that tomorrow freshly we can start groupings. So all the groupings. Fine. Okay. So fine. So what are the challenges? See, the important challenge is that. So write down here. So yeah, the important challenge. So write down here. Diplomatic pressure from US. So that is the important challenge. So diplomatic pressure from US and Western sanctions. So diplomatic pressures from US and Western sanctions. Okay. So next challenge is Russia's increasing closeness with Pakistan. Russia's increasing closeness with Pakistan. See what happens. US doesn't like Russia. When we are engaging with Russia, US unnecessarily puts pressure on us. So and Western world also keeps criticizing India when we engage with Russia. So that's first challenge. And the next challenge, next challenge is write down lack of economic diversification. Lack of economic diversification as the trade relation is heavily concentrated on as the trade relation is heavily concentrated on energy and defense. energy and defense Energy and defense. Okay. So next challenge is low people to people contact. See, just analyze. Do you have a good awareness about Russia or with US or say with UK? So we have good knowledge about UK and say America, right? But not with respect to Russia. This is because low people to people contact. Even Russians, they don't have adequate knowledge about India. Even Indians don't have adequate knowledge about Russia. But we have good knowledge with US because people to people contact is very high. So another challenge is that we are not able to diversify our products, economic relation, because there's no people to people contact. That is, Russians are not demanding Indian clothes. So Russians are not demanding Indian foods. Similarly, Indians are not demanding Russian food. Indians are not demanding Russian clothes. The reason being that there's no proper people-to-people contact. Whereas with Russia, with US, when there's a proper people-to-people contact, so people in US there's a demand for Indian goods. In India there's a demand for US goods. The same should happen. So the challenge is that there's lack of people-to-people contact. So write down here lack of people to people contact. And the next challenge is lack of people to people contact. Lack of people to people contact. Lack of people to people contact. Okay, so another did you write on this? Russia's closeness with Pakistan. Russia's closeness. Did you guys write this? Russia's closeness with Pakistan. Yes, okay, right. Okay. So these are the broad challenges that we have between India and Russia. So how do we overcome it? Through diplomatic measures. That is increasing diplomatic engagements, increasing people to people contact. We can overcome these challenges. Fine. Okay. So write down grouping, and then we'll take up tomorrow. Right. Okay. Yeah. Way forward, Chandan, increasing diplomatic contacts, increasing people to people relation, diversification of economic engagements. Okay. Example with Russia's ties, Russia started supplying defense equipments to Pakistan. So, yeah, that is the thing. What is the doubt, Anjali? Yeah, there are so many messages that keeps coming. Devansh, I'll see to it, Devansh. Sure, I'll do that. I'll do that. Okay, okay, okay. What's your question, Someshri? Yashwant, okay, small help other students. Yeah, Yashwant is telling that there's some student group. If anyone has created, yeah, if anyone has created any student group, you can add Yashwant. He is your classmate. See, Somesh, that youth going there, see, it has not got impacted much as such because we have a very strong relation with Russia. It has not affected much. So, yeah, fine. Okay. Yeah, even I don't know where do you join the group. Maybe you can contact Yashwant, I think. Yeah, I don't know how the dynamics works over here, man. This in this group. So fine. Okay. So then chalo then. So tomorrow we'll meet. Yeah. Okay. So thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you.